Hello everyone, it's Caribbean E and Tina. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's just having a wonderful and a splendid day and that you are in the best of health. Today we're talking about a very, very crucial subject that involves everybody's life. And this has been close to my heart and I've been waiting for this one for a long time. And I'm telling you.
We've had lots of discussions at home on this one.
We've had lots of discussions on this.
Which you should.
But you should, because this here is very close to my heart. So here it is.
Social Security. When should you look to start receiving your money? Now, as you know, everyone that has worked and contributed into Social Security income tax is eligible to start the first payment of Social Security by law at age 62.
62.
But you want to remember the benefits will be permanently reduced. And we're going to go over all this with you. You take an early Social Security payment at 62, it is permanently. Not, oh, it's reduced till I turn 66 and a half and then it's going to go to normal. No. For as long as you stay on the earth, it is going to be set because it is ingrained in that price, that amount when you collect. Meaning, if it's the, so I'm going to give you, well, let's give some examples. That's the best way I can show you. If, let's just play with the number 1,000. Let's say that you were going to get $1,000 at 66 and a half. But for whatever reasons, you decide you want to take that 62-year payment and you don't want to wait till 66 and a half. So you're saying, hey, I'm 62. I know if I wait until I'm 66 and a half, I'd get $1,000, but nah, give it to me now. Right. You're going to get $750, meaning you're going to lose $250. Now, I know everybody's going to say, oh, that's nothing. That is a month. Let's be clear.
Right.
You're losing $250 a month to Uncle Sam. You're basically handing the tax guy who couldn't wait to take it from you $250 a month. Now, that may still, to some say, that's not that much. But it translates into huge, huge money loss if you're talking over time.
Right.
Okay? Because it depends on how long you live, how long you're getting it, right? Now, I know that people are going to say, which is what I always hear, I'm going to die. I'm going to die now. I need my money now. I'm not going to live past 62. I'll be lucky if I make it to 63. That is outrageous. But anyways, so let's say that you are the few, you know, that, well, the most, that have an average lifespan. An average lifespan right now, look it up if you don't believe me, it's 85 to 95 years old.
Right.
85 at the low end, 95 to the high end, and that is an average lifespan of an American right now.
Right, in the U.S.
I mean, we're not talking back in the 1920s where if you got a toothache, it turned into an abscess and you died overnight, and people died at 15 and 20. We have made great strides in the medical community. Right. And the chance of us living truly does depend on us and how we are living. Meaning, how are you eating? How are you taking your vitamins? You know, how are you handling stress? Things like that. And also, if you have long life in your family,
longevity.
Yes, then it goes up even more. This guy, his mother just Saturday celebrated how many years?
92.
There you go. And she ain't going nowhere.
And she going strong.
I make a joke all the time. She gonna outlive everybody. She has outlived sons, grandchildren.
Sure has.
She has outlived everybody.
Still going strong. Still going strong.
You can take that. I'm gonna die at 62, so I need to get my money all you want. I'm just saying. So let's just play with that number, shall we? Let's say at 62, you want to take your money for $750 a month. But let's say you don't drop dead till 85. which is the low end average.
Right.
Okay? So now you have lived 23 more years at your reduced payment per month.
Right.
So let's look at that. You've given Uncle Sam in 1 year $3,000, right? 250 bucks times 12, three grand. You've handed him back and you said, here, take $3 grand.
Take the money back.
Right. So over 23 years, you know what that equals?
How much?
$69,000. Because you made a haste makes waste decision.
Sure do.
At 62 to take that money and run because you swore you were going to do so much with it. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. And now you have lost out on $69,000. Was it worth the impatience?
Wasn't worth it at all. It wasn't worth it 1 second, okay? Because it's your money. And Uncle Sam would love to keep it.
Right, of course. I mean, think of it like this. The government and SSI taxes and everything are just like the casino. They don't make money based on losing. I'm winning. They make money. I screwed the pooch. They don't make money on winning. They make money on you losing. Meaning you don't look into everything. You want to hurry up and get your money, and they get to keep what they need to keep. Now, you take that same $1,000 at 66 and a half years old, right? $1,000 payment, that's what it is. You looked up on the SSI website, that's what it says, that's what we're dealing with. Now, let's say you deferred it until you turn 70. That $1,000 a month payment now turns to $1,320. So an increase of $320 a month. And again, I know we're going to get those that say that is nothing.
Right.
Okay? But that is $3,840 a year. Now, remember, you're still only living until 85, then you're going to die at 85. So now we're talking 15 years. In those 15 years, you've made an additional $57,600 by waiting until 70.
Right.
Waiting and deferring and getting that true, because the only way to get the true 100% payout is to wait until you're 70.
Right.
Okay? Now, there's a lot of factors that go into considering waiting for deferment. I get it. Now, obviously, you can't predict how long you're going to live.
There you
I
go.
wish we had a crystal ball and that it would tell me the exact date and time that I was going to die so that I could have planned for you and I. But it just ain't happening. But, like I said, if health and longevity run in the family,
Right.
you got that factor. If you're taking care of yourself, you got that factor. So you would benefit by postponement.
Right.
Now, every year that you delay collecting Social Security, between those ages of 62 and 70, your monthly benefit increases from between 6 to 8%. Now, I know everybody that says, no, I'm going to run to the bank at 62 with my money. I'm going to go and throw it into savings account. I'm going to make money. I don't know what bank account you've looked at, because your average, now we're talking an average low-risk investment like U.S. Treasuries or an insured savings account, which most of us, that's what we have in the banks, you only get something like 2 to 4%. So clearly, the 6 to 8% that the government is paying you is higher. Now, yes, there has been those that have invested the money in maybe a medium to high risk investment, like a stocks or whatever, and have made money and said, no, I took it at 62 and I made a great living. I made tons of money, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But what's the likelihood of that? You have to take the risk. So when you're considering something like that, always consider the level of risk. And the lower the risk, the lower the yield.
Right.
The higher the risk, the higher the yield. But are you willing to gamble when you're already in a hole? Because remember, when you're taking that money at 62, you're already losing. Meaning, if these are the stages of a hole, here's 66, my lip. But you decided to take 62, my chest. So you're already stepping down into a hole monthly.
That's right. Losing money.
You're hoping, you're betting, and you're gambling that in those 8 years, because think about it, 62 to 70 is only 8 years,
Right.
You're going to get at least up to the 66. Now, you don't want just at least to 66, or you should have stayed and waited to 66. you want to reach higher than the 80 or the 70,
70.
Age, because the 70 age would have yielded you 6 to 8% interest.
Right.
So now you're saying that by 62, 270, you need to show me a higher yield payment more than 6 to 8%, or else it's not worth the risk. Point blank, period. Simple, cut and dry.
Cut and dry.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts, or maybes. So, with all that, obviously, if you don't have enough savings, if you've not planned well, and you need Social Security income to live on, you got no choice.
You got no choice but to take it.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what they're hoping.
That's what they're hoping.
I will tell you this. The government is made to keep you down, meaning they don't want you to get knowledge, because knowledge is power. They don't want you to think about living forever. They want you to hope and bet that you're going to die early, because they keep the spoils.
They keep the spoils.
Right? So, if you have savings or income from other sources, because you have been a good steward with your money, you have planned, you have thought that, hey, you know what? I want to live long with you.
Right.
I want to retire with you.
Absolutely, baby.
You know, I want to go to the Caribbean or wherever. I want to stay home, but I want to be prepared for the U.S. prices and all this and that. So I'm going to save and I'm going to do this and that.
Right.
Then you can postpone, because I'm telling you, as sure as I'm sitting here, that if you can wait.
Right. If you can wait and be patient, you will see the benefits like never before. Because again, you know the system of the U.S. And they love to keep you depressed, down, broke, busted, and disgusted.
So now, knowing that knowledge is power, I urge everyone, if you haven't done it, when you finish this video, do it. Pull out your laptop, your iPad, whatever, go on SSI.gov and see where you stand. Look at your Social Security income tax numbers. First, make sure they're accurate.
Right.
Because coulda, woulda, shoulda, later. Good luck trying to get reported income when it was reported incorrectly.
Right.
That's its own struggle. But anyway. But you want to go on there and see where you are. You want to see right now where you are and where you can be, knowing that the amount of money that you're going to be making over however many years you're going to work.
Right.
So you want to look at the amount for the 3 ages. I urge you, please look at that. Look at your 62, look at your 66 and a half, and look at your 70 years. They clearly tell you the amount, and numbers don't lie.
Right.
The numbers are on there. It is your information, and information is power. But also, if you're married, look at the survivor benefit amounts, because a lot of people are leaving this earth with their partners unprepared and left behind to have to struggle and suffer.
Right. By themselves. All by themselves.
Yeah.
Now, like she said, knowledge is power, and information is inspiration. Because when you can give me some good information, it can inspire me to go to the next level. But if you don't know, you can't flow.
Right. And remember now, if you're single, the numbers are the numbers. There's absolutely nothing else to consider. You have to make an informed decision when you look at those numbers and when you want to take it out and how it'll affect you because you don't have a partner.
Right.
But if you are married, as a couple, your goal is to maximize your combined benefit over both of your lifetimes, as well as considering your survivor benefits.
Right.
So, with that, I'd say that involves analyzing your personal benefits as well as the potential to take advantage of spousal benefits, meaning the one with the lowest payout may take the money early.
Right.
So in our case, being totally transparent, I had the lower amount, and so we have looked at our years and our ages and everything, because that all plays into factor, because we are we have an age difference to consider, that I, at 62, will begin taking my money out. Why? I'm the lowest of the payout, and there's 2 incomes to consider. I'm not by myself. If I was by myself, trust me, I would not take my money at 62. But I'm talking a combined income with my husband.
Right.
We have savings, we have money. I will take mine at 62 because I'm probably going to either use it as fluff money or invest it, quite frankly, because we have the luxury of doing
Right,
that.
we have the luxury of doing that.
But he, on the other hand, is going to wait because he is the larger of the payouts, and the larger of the payout should wait till 70 because then you're getting the larger money.
That's right.
So
That's right.
think about it.
That's right.
At 70, we'll have our regular income coming in, which is your retirement.
Right.
We'll have your SSI at its maximum at 70. And then when I hit 62, we'll also have that additional income coming in.
Right.
Putting us way above what we needed to be at.
Way above level. Way above the
So
water.
again, seriously, I urge everybody to look at that when you're married survivor benefit, because the survivor's benefit, if he were to take it at 70 and then God forbid die at like 71, they take automatically almost 25% to 30% before they give me my payment.
Right.
So you want to have him or you at whoever's got the largest max to help that person. Now, me taking mine at 62, it's not that big of a difference, honestly, in the two amounts that I showed you on my end, because I retired kind of really early. Like I literally retired in like 40, at 40. So I tell him all the time, I'm like, I still want you covered. I still want you to know this is how much my death benefit is if I pass before you, but it's still a decent amount.
Right.
And you're already getting way above and beyond. You wait till 70, you will be set. I do not anticipate you would ever have a monetary need or trouble.
Right.
So that's just something that couples have to analyze. If you're single, you have to analyze it for yourself. But go on that SSI website, see where you are, look at those three amounts, be informed. If you thinking that you really, even though we said all this, I'm taking it out of 62, I don't care what they said. My uncle took it at 62, but was your uncle really worth that much? Was it really that much of a difference for him? Did he not prepare so he had to take it? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I've had an uncle who had to take it at 62 because he didn't prepare for life. Then I had a mother who took it at 66 and a half like she was supposed to because she had a little bit of retirement, plus she was taking her SSI, but could not wait till 70 because her retirement was not enough because poor planning.
Right.
But us, we have positioned ourselves to have well enough planning, even in the case of an emergency, that we have the luxury of waiting till 70. So if anything, I hope this encourages you to look at where you're at and then kind of put a spark in you, because when you look at those numbers, you may say, this is where I want to be or this is not where I want to be. So now what do I need to save? What do I need to do in addition, because I know I will not be able to live at the level I'm accustomed to at this amount? Or is it good and I'll take what I can get and I'll stay down here in the hole?
And just remember that, and even my friends still working at Republic Services, you got to remember, overtime and all those hours count. So you got to go on that site and make sure that they got everything straight, because this is your life.
Yes.
And you can rip and run with your eyes closed all you want, but I'm going to tell you something. When reality hits, it will hit. I want to know, even in retirement right now, we are yet planning for the future.
Yes.
It does not stop because we're retired. We're yet planning ahead because we want a brighter and a brighter future. And I'm not getting ready to sit up here and give Uncle Sam every dime I worked hard for and sweat on my brow every single day.
Amen. And we are going on our 12th year together.
12th year.
And I remember clear as day, we were sitting in the kitchen, talking across the island in the kitchen. And I said to you, do you know where you're at with Social Security? And you were like, no. Don't they mail something? And I was like, that's not an accurate number. And I was like, have you ever gone on the website and looked? And you said no. And I go, how do you know they're reporting correctly?
Right.
How do you know how much you're going to get? How can we plan for a future? And this was, I'm seriously, like 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah, 10, 11 years ago.
I was like, how can we plan for a future if you don't know what you're dealing with? You have to know numbers. Numbers don't lie. It is your livelihood.
It's your livelihood.
And you said, wow. And I created you an account and we looked at it.
Right.
And you were like, OMG.
Oh my God.
Because that also played into the plan. If you've seen the other video, and if you haven't, I encourage you to look at our other video on considering being an expat, but also all right, now I'm getting ready. Let's get serious.
Right.
So let's get serious about relocating, because you have to have all your ducks in a row. You can't just leave and not know and then expect that everything's just going to work out.
Absolutely.
And you can't just take the advice of somebody who's made a couple dimes on a little bit of money, when in reality they should have took the 6 to 8% Uncle Sam was going to give them.
Right.
And they invested and they worked hard for absolutely nothing, because in the end all they made was 2 to 4%. And they started in a hole. Remember, you got to dig yourself out of a hole. If you're not even digging yourself out of the hole, why put yourself in the hole?
Right. It's all about how you plan. Planning well
Yes.
from day one. Now, I know a lot of people lay back, they have not been taught this, but you need to get with somebody that knows something about this whole thing about Social Security and how the whole thing works.
Yes.
Because this is your life.
Reading is power.
Open your
It's all
eyes.
online.
Open your eyes up and understand what's really happening around you, especially in the U.S.
And there's a lot of free articles, literally Forbes, Business Insider,
Charles
Schwab.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of articles constantly. Because I'll tell you this, if you're looking for this information or you're thinking that the SSI or the government is going to tell you this, they absolutely are not.
No, they ain't gonna
They are not going to inform you and arm you with what you need. It is up to you to do that, and if you don't, you pay the cost.
And I was so glad. My wife has a lot of accounting abilities, and she helped me out on a lot of stuff financially. Because like I said, sometimes we're going down the wrong road, but sometimes we need to stop, listen to somebody that's got some wisdom, that's been there, that knows about money. And it's your life. And if you don't check on your life, just because you living out here, living outside the country, that don't mean you're not going to check on your life. Go online and see where you're sitting, where your Social Security is.
Yes.
Now, like I said, the average person will say, I don't care what they say, care what nobody say. At 62, I'm taking the money and I'm running.
Right.
I'm retired, but since we plan well, I don't need that money, because right now I don't miss that money. So now that money is making money for me for the future.
Yes.
And I can live better and I can live large as I live, and healthy as I take care of myself. I'm living in the country. Most everything is organic. I can take care of myself, exercise, and I got, like I said, I got longevity. The Lord give me strength to live on this earth, okay? So I can be able to see the fruits of my labor. Because I don't know about you, but I ain't worked my brains out all those years for overtime for nothing.
Yeah.
I worked
100%.
hour
I agree 100%.
after hour. I've driven that truck miles to neighborhoods.
And they were in that line with their hands out, first one in line. Because think about it. As soon as you get your income,
right,
first one in line is SSI, and next is Uncle Sam.
It's Uncle Sam.
Take that money.
And they take that money, every paycheck you get. You ripping and running, getting all the overtime, but they getting their money. So
you want to give it back?
So you don't want to give it back.
I don't want to give it back.
I look good. I feel good. I'm glad I made the choices that I made through Tina. We made our choices together, because teamwork makes the dream work.
And you do have to look, I mean, it's great to hear that, you know, I gave you advice or whatever, but in the end, you do have to look into things.
Right.
Numbers do not lie, and that's what I said. I said, look at these numbers. Look, where do you want to be? And you said, you were like, we ain't touching that until I turn 70. I was like, I'm with you, 100%. I'm right there with you. I was thinking it, but I let him say it because that's his money.
Because it is a lot of money, and it's a big difference in just a few years. I mean, stop and think about it. It's a large amount of money in just a few years.
Yes.
And the government, and I hate to say it, but the U.S. government are planning on you cashing out early.
Yes, and dying.
And dropping dead. And
either way they win.
Either way they win. So don't get played. Stop getting played. You done moved out of the country, now you outside the box. Get the big picture.
Yes, you can almost be making double. Because when I was looking at the numbers, not to give numbers, but I'm just saying, when we were looking at how much he gets through retirement, and then how much we would get when he turned 70 and I collected 62, it is literally the mirror number, meaning we would be making double our income. That is not including any type of savings that we've been doing.
Right.
Double our income. Who would not do that? Who would risk that type of money to an investment or a fly-by-night that tells me, oh, come buy this property, oh, come do this, I'll make you money, I'll make you money. Because I'll tell you this, there were people who went to bed before COVID-19 who had tons of stock in travel and
tourism,
yes, and in hotels and this and that. And then they woke up after the shutdown
with a zero. With a zero.
But the thing is that when they had a lot and then they lost it, it ain't so bad. So rich people ain't gonna tell you how bad, how bad it hit them. But I'll tell you this: if what you have is wrapped up solely in that SSI money, and then you lose it,
you got to make sure that you got your future covered. I don't care if you got to write down a piece of paper. We're trying to get you, beautiful viewers, some of you been asleep concerning Social Security. We want you to wake up, you sleeping giant, and understand that you are the greatest, but you got to take control of your future. It's good to come out and have a good time in different countries, but I'm going to tell you something. Who's watching your bank?
Right.
Who's watching your bank?
Right, exactly. And if you are self-employed, then you already know that you are not contributing to SSI tax.
Right.
So therefore, you hopefully are the few that you've decided, maybe I want to invest because I've been investing for 10, 20, 30 years. So I'm playing the long game. And I started early because I know when I get my money, whether it's 62 or 66, it's not much because I've been self-employed. So I have saved, I have investments, I have homes, I have whatever, because I have compensated. So that's why I said, look now. I don't care if you're 20, you've been working. I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50. You need to look. Don't wake up at 60 and say, oh shit, now I gotta look. It's too late then, I'm sorry.
It's too late, the party's over then. So basically, even on my job, if they put me on a big route to me sounds, in my ears, rings on my ears saying big money, okay? And that's how with public service, they put you on a big route, they want you to run through that route and get done early. Not me. I'm not a fool. I don't run away from money, I run to money. And they found out in the front office that, wow, who's out there? Weatherman. The weatherman is still out there. They said, wow, he loves staying there. Yeah, he sure does. You know why? Because I come to work to get paid. Whether it's, every hour counts. When you punch that clock, I got paid by the hour. Right. You punch that clock, that's your money, not just for now, but for the future.
So if you would put that much vigor and excitement towards making money, why wouldn't you put that excitement and vigor towards keeping money
instead of giving the money away? And I've told a lot of you guys that I work with, I don't care what city, public service is a huge freaking Fortune 500 company, and they got to put you on these big routes, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Thanksgiving, and you ripping and running, and you're getting off the clock as fast as you can. You're running away from your future and dollars that can be in your pocket when you get past 66.
Yes.
So it's time to start thinking. You got to think with this, because you know what? They're going to get their money. How about you? Who's watching your nest?
He's getting hyped.
I'm getting hyped because I'm tired of seeing all of my
excited for
black
this video. I'm going to let you guys
brothers
know.
and sisters.
Hey, Latinas too.
And Latinas, minorities, and even whites, blacks, whatever color nationality you are. I'm tired of seeing you run away from money and giving it to Uncle Sam, because that's what he wants.
And listening to bad advice.
And bad advice.
Just because something was done, like I said, and again, encouraging you to watch other videos, just because something was a certain way in your family, and that people you know did it a certain way, we are all about thinking outside the box. Meaning, what is best for you may not be what was best for somebody you knew in your family, or your parents or your grandparents. So what's wrong with thinking outside the box? Absolutely nothing.
Right.
Nothing venture, nothing gain. So why not consider waiting to 66 and a half? Why not consider pushing it to 70? Why not? That's just, there's the question.
Yeah.
When someone tells you, take it at 62, take it at 62, look at them and say, well, why not? Why not consider something else? Because people with one-track mind stay on that one track. And one of these days, they're going to crash into the wall.
They sure is. And you know what? You are who you listen to. Because it's your future, not theirs. And some people will be fast, Tina, to tell you, well, if I was you, I would do this. Well, first of all, you ain't me. This is my life. This is my future. And I tell you what, as I get up there in age, I want to make sure that I'm not looking for a can of beans crawling on the floor saying I'm hungry.
And it's all individualized. So like I said, I can give you all the advice in the world, but maybe it doesn't work for you because you're just not planned. And now it's late in life and you say to yourself, well, I'm just stuck where I am. It is what it is and I've got to deal with it. So yeah, I got to take it at 62. But if you have not gotten there yet, what if? That's all I'm saying. What if? Consider some other things. Look into some other things. Because everyone's different. Like I said, you've made different amounts. You've decided to like me, retire early, whereas he decided to work longer.
Right.
You've decided to save, or you haven't. You decided to have investments in the a long time ago, and now you're set and you're ready to embark in your future. You've decided that you have a 401k or an IRA, Roth fund or whatever, IRAs, anything, and you've gotten the money to do that. So now you can lay back in the cut, because it's like I said in one of the videos when we were talking way back when the pandemic started. If you plan, you afford yourself the chance to lay back in the cut and say, I'll wait, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah, I got mine. I made mine.
And let everything play out and hold on to that money until you're ready. And that's all I'm saying. Plan, be informed, and make a decision best for you or best for you and your spouse.
Right.
But arm yourself with information.
And that's so very important. And you know what? I tell you what, union jobs are very, very important. I love my union. They got on my nerves sometimes, but I'm glad at the end of the day that I was able to cash out, okay, and live a good life. But like I said, you guys got to start thinking. You got these big routes, and you out there, everybody's home. Your route is humongous, and you still killing yourself trying to get off the clock.
So
run away from money.
So make sure you go to SSI.gov, go to the Social Security website, check on your amount, and plan for the future.
And Katina, I'm glad that me and you had this conversation, because you know what? I'd rather have my eyes open than walk around in the blind, because some people are like the blind leading the blind. That's how they are. And we just want to make sure that our future is bright. And I want to make sure that I get everything that I worked so hard for all my life.
And let's be clear, he was in the dark. That's why he's saying this.
I was in the dark for many years. I was in the dark.
We're talking darn near
ages
50 years in
the
dark.
dark.
And then I was like, let's turn the light on. So it's never too late. That's my point. But it's also never too early. So start looking and start planning.
And even though if you don't work for a corporation or work for a retirement, get a retirement, still, whatever job you got, still be clocking those hours. Because that's important too, because that's going towards your future.
Yes.
You still clock those hours. If they leave you out there, if you're doing a job of 5 people and just one person and the company cutting back, well then it's going to take you a lot longer. Take your time, get your extra cup of coffee, okay? And take your time, because it is what it is. Tina, I must say this before we end this video.
Yes.
They criticized me for years for being the last truck in the yard. But you know what? I was the smartest person in the yard when I got to the yard.
That's right, because where's your truck parked now?
Where's my truck not parked now? In the same place, in the same time, somebody else is driving it, and they doing what they got to do. Someone might be ripping and running, trying to get off the clock fast, to sit down there and do absolutely nothing.
And you're sitting in the Caribbean.
And I'm sitting in the Caribbean,
Just
living
saying.
large, in charge, waiting till it's time for me to cash in on all those years and all that overtime that I got in my pocket. So I laugh at all my haters. So I just had to say that. So anyway,
All right.
in the meantime, between the time, always remember, life is to be enjoyed.
Hit subscribe. Remember, that is the free, easy way to support the channel, to keep these great gems coming to you, and hit notifications so that you can be informed when a video like this, that I think is truly life-changing, comes on the channel.
Life is to be enjoyed. Peace.